Alright guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another video. Today is a different video. I am not going to be playing anything live. I have had so many requests for a microtransaction breakdown video. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take two games here that I played earlier and that I pre-recorded. And these two games one of them's in second place, one of them's in first place. So they're both wins, but both of them are fantastic examples of how I cycle to build up infinite elixir basically and to be able to build the comp that I want. So let's go ahead and dive right in here with some analysis of these games. I'm going to be playing and pausing probably pretty frequently to show you guys exactly every single decision that I make. And so, bear with me here. You guys asked for this, just remember. Okay, so we got the first free modifier here, which means that I'm going to buy the most expensive card that I can. I am going to buy the Mega Knight here, and that is going to allow me to sell it later on if I want to see if to get more elixir. So let's go back to that decision right there. I could have bought the Royal Ghost. I bought the Princess. That didn't matter to me. I didn't plan on keeping either of them. It was just unfortunate that that was the cheapest card in the hand. So I ended up buying the Princess here. And that's actually a really lucky decision because now I have another Princess sitting in my hand. So I am not going to sell the Spear Goblin and the Mega Knight to buy the Princess and then sell the Princess for more elixir. Instead, I'm going to keep the Princess in my hand. By having a Mega Knight on the field early, I'm pretty comfortable in my spot here, so I was able to take this win pretty easily. And then now, because of the modifier, I actually can buy that second Princess for free and get the merge. So you see I do that here. I bought the Princess for 0 elixir. That gave me the merge, which is plus 2 elixir. Then I can sell the Princess, and I got 7 elixir for selling that card. So now here I am in round 2 with a 4-cost card on the field and a 2-cost card on the field and 13 elixir in my hand. This leaves me in a really good spot. So I believe here is when I start my cheap cycling. And by that, I'm just buying the cheapest card every single time until I run out of elixir or get a merge. And then I'm just doing the same thing over and over again. So you can see here, there's no rhyme or reason to my purchases and sales. Some of you may think that there is. But what I'm doing right here is just continuing to buy cheap and sell. Here I'm kind of left with, I just bought a cheaper card here. So here I'm left with 2 goblins, a goblin machine, and a dark goblin, which I put in the field just to take advantage of the goblin synergy. And then I left an archer out there too, because I'm already thinking, goblin or dark goblin, goblin machine. I'm thinking I'm wanting to go for a ranger setup. So that's what I'm doing here. Just buying those cheap, really cheap cards, cycling to build up elixir. So there you go. I saved that second goblin machine. That way I could buy it for free, get the elixir from the merge. And you can see here, I'm sitting on 12 elixir already. I did not even spend close to all my elixir. Was able to sell a card there. Then I buy the bandit. Contemplated selling that bandit, I believe, if I remember correctly. But then I decided just to keep it because it's such a good card, especially early on in the game when they don't have many cards that can kill it easily or counter it. So I think I leave that bandit in there, and then here I am just trying to find a princess. I do find it, so I pull the bandit. That was why I kept that that archer in there. Archer is a cheap unit, but she is a very valuable unit. Of course, you need her if you want to have a full clan or a full ranger setup. So we take that win right there pretty easy with the full ranger lineup. And so here I am going into round 4 now with a really good start. I have 2 stars on my princess, 2 stars on my goblin machine, 2 stars on my dark goblin, and a free purchase for the golden knight. What's funny in this situation is that I actually didn't buy the golden knight here because of all the elixir I have sitting on my bench. I believe, I did buy the dark goblin. Because of all the elixir I had sitting on my bench, there's really no reason for me to take the golden knight because I only gained 2 elixir there. And because dark goblin is such a coveted card for the ranger setup, I decided to go ahead and take the free dark goblin because, I have all that extra elixir spent up in troops sitting on my bench. So there I go ahead and sell the knight. I'm not quite ready to go for a knight yet. Besides, knight is not a very useful card. I mean, he's not a very required. He's not a very he's not used in a lot of builds is what I'm trying to say. So he's not going to be out of the pool too often. So I go ahead and take the goblin machine there. And then I was lucky enough to get a 3-star princess and then a 2-star archer. And then here I'm at a good spot. So I'm just trying to continue to build up my elixir. To finish out this comp, I want a Valk and a Knight, so those are the cards that I'm looking for, but I'm going to buy the cards that I can in order to get the merges. So you saw that I bought a Giant Skeleton there, and then I sold it. That gave me probably 11 Elixir in my hand, so then I went ahead and bought a Knight, which is what I wanted. Bought a Prince as well. Just trying to buy the cheaper cards. I think I sit on my hand for here. Yeah, I just leave it as is for now, because I have the Golden Knight in my hand, in my purchasing queue, so I can buy him for free next time and get a free 4 Elixir or more if I find a merge for him. These guys with the weird old thrower placements, I don't know what he was doing there, but I've been seeing that recently. But my princess just shredded through that, so happy to take that win. But then I go ahead and buy the Golden Knight there, take care of that. Then I get my 3-star on the Goblin Machine, which is huge because that gives me an extra bench slot plus extra bonus merge elixir. Then I get the 3-star on the Dark Goblin. Then I get the 3-star on the Golden Knight. So here I'm sitting with kind of all the cards that I want minus Valkyrie, but I'm going to be stuck on that Valkyrie because, as you can see, this guy is playing it in his clan setup. So here again, I'm just trying to buy cards that I need. I do find a Valkyrie, but I'm also just trying to block too. So now I'm looking at what they have, what this guy has. I go ahead and hold on to my P.E.K.K.A. and my Executioner just to keep that ace guy from getting too much built up. But now here, because I am in the middle of a game, there's no reason to just sit and watch. You might as well be cycling to build up your elixir. You can see I sell the P.E.K.K.A., use that elixir to get a few merges, end up with a 2-star Prince and still 2 elixir in my hand, and then I buy another P.E.K.K.A. so I can stay blocking the opponent. I do take this loss here, which is okay. I'm not mad about it because I know that I'm not quite ready to beat Clan yet. There's a few more cards that I want if I'm going to have a chance of beating Clan. So I sell the card there, go ahead and buy the most expensive card for free, which was a Royal Ghost here. You can see that I'm still looking for that Knight and a Valkyrie, but I know I'm not going to be able to get either of those cards because they're being blocked. So I'm just trying to block my opponents in return. I keep that P.E.K.K.A. and that Executioner as well as the Valkyrie to block the Clan guy right there. And of course, I already have Archer. So at this point where my team is pretty much built up, there's not much more I can do to actually harm or to actually make my team stronger. So I'm really just trying to harm my opponents with my elixir. Elixir is a resource. This game mode is a mode of resource management, and elixir is the resource you have to manage. So yes, you're using it to build your team up, but you're also using it to block and harm your opponents here. So we are able to win pretty easily against the dead guy, and then we watch the Clan guy beat this ace guy. So now we are stuck. We are having to fight Clan, which is Clan Avenger is still, I think, the strongest comp in the game. And so I'm thinking, okay, I need to get a G Skelly. If you've watched my counter video, you know that G Skelly is the key to beating Clan. So I go ahead and buy him here, and I'm already thinking, okay, I need to kind of come up with some different kind of like, some surprising comp, something that he's not expecting. I know I need to keep holding on to the Valkyrie so I can't block. I believe at this point I can't block any of his other cards either, so I'm just using my elixir to try to build up my team. Again, just buying cheap merges. I'm not going to pause and play for every single one of these. I'm just buying the cheapest card, selling it if I don't have a merge, just using those 2 spots on my bench that I'm working out of. You can see I'm trying to build my Giant Skeleton, I'm blocking his Valkyrie, and I'm trying to build my Knight. So these 3 spots are taken up. These 2 are my spots to work out of. So I'm going to buy a cheap card for this spot, then sell the card out of here, and then keep buying and selling over here until I can merge this card. And then I'm going to sell this card. And then whichever card's over here, I'm going to keep buying and selling out of this slot so I can merge this spot over here. That's how you're able to build up the infinite elixir. You can see I'm just copying and pasting that process, just selling out of the right. Then I sold the merge. Now I keep building and selling. At this point, I decided to just go in for a round here just to see if there's a chance I have to beat him as is. I'm not feeling super confident, but I know that he was doing a fantastic job of blocking. This guy was aware that the Giant Skeleton would really mess him up, so he was more than likely just holding all the Giant Skeleton cards on his bench. Now, I was able to beat this guy the first round, which is funny because even though I just beat him and I'm blocking his cards that can star up, instead of going in for the exact same thing, and I made this mistake, instead of going in for the exact same thing, I decided to go ahead and switch my team up. I thought, okay, well, I beat him this time. Maybe let's go ahead and swap my entire team around and try to beat him this way, which was the stupidest idea. So that's why I ended up taking second in this game instead of beating this guy, because I did swap my team around. But at this point, I'm just frantically looking to try to block a bandit. I'm so confused as to how he only has a 2-star bandit. I thought there's no way. He should definitely have a 3-star because he's probably holding on to the 3rd bandit as well. And so I'm just frantically looking for that 4th to try to block. You can see I do swap the G Skelly in for the knight there. That was a poor decision. That took away the Juggernaut boost. Plus, you know, even though my Noble boost is still activated, it just takes away an extra really stout member on my front line, and that's why I have a hard time beating this team now, because my Rangers aren't able to build up as well as they can, and so I'm you know, once that G Skelly dies, the other troops target other troops, which are going to kill my Goblin Machine and my Golden Knight quicker, which means that their troops can just get back to my Rangers and destroy me. So we took that loss there, but that was a fantastic example, masterclass of how to build up your elixir. I was never strapped for elixir that entire game, just constantly staying ahead. And yeah, the key takeaways there are just to operate out of your bench. Use your bench as just a resource that you can hold troops on while you buy, sell, merge, buy, sell, merge, or buy, merge, sell. Buy, merge, sell, buy, merge, sell, buy, merge, sell. If you have 3 spots to operate out of, that means you're going to build up even more elixir. And so that was a game where the modifier really helped generate bonus elixir. This one, I mean, even though it is a plus elixir modifier, I don't take advantage of it nearly as much as I do others, just because sometimes holding cards on your bench is a much better use of your resource rather than clearing out the bench to gain the extra elixir. So let's go ahead and dive into game number 2 here. Right off the bat, I get an archer, and so I can buy the 2nd archer and sell. I'm selling my early 2-stars every single time. That is the key to building infinite elixir, is that if you don't sell your 2-star cards, then you are not gaining any infinite elixir. The way you get infinite elixir is obviously by buying let's use that archer for example. In this case, I got the archer for free, but typically you would buy an archer for 2 elixir. You would buy another archer for 2 elixir. Now you're in it for 4 elixir. When you merge those 2 cards, you are getting 2 elixir for the merge from Spirit Empress, and then when you sell that merged 2-star archer, you are getting 3 elixir back. So you are putting in 4 elixir for a return on 5 elixir. That is how you are able to consistently generate elixir. That's the key. And so if you do not sell your early 2-stars, you are stuck with a ton of elixir held up in those 2-star troops. And while they may get you some early wins, the rest of your opponents are quick cycling, because when you're in Diamond and beyond, everybody knows how to play that way, in that fashion, and so everybody else is quick cycling in order to build up their team in the 3rd or 4th round when they actually have enough elixir to do so, and you're stuck with your 1- and 2-star cards, even though they may be a good team. Even if you can get full clan in the 3rd round, you're going to be stuck with those cards at 1 star while everybody else has 2 or 3 stars on their throwers. That's just how the game works. That's why throwers are really strong, because of the ability to have cheap cards that you can build up in really high stars and use to merge. So I go ahead and get my my 2 goblins right here. The 2 cost goblins are my favorite way to start every game, because you are guaranteed to get a merge out of them. That's just going to give you an extra 2 elixir. Plus you can do that over and over and over again. You're going to get a merge from them pretty often. I think, you know, if you just leave them in, it's going to be statistically half the time. And then that percentage goes down as you continue to play and as you get less. Okay, let's go back here. And as you have as you have less merges, because your goblins get to higher stars. So I get the free Spear Goblin. I go ahead and take that merge. Then I'm buying the cheap Knight, which is the cheapest card, and I buy the Royal Ghost, which unfortunately is the cheapest card even at a 4 cost. So now here I buy the Spear Goblin. I sell my 2-star. Whenever you have to sell a card in order to get more elixir to keep merging, sell your 2-star or 3-star cards. Because if you buy a 1-star and then you sell a 1-star, you're taking an elixir loss every time. If you sell a 2-star, you are gaining positive elixir on that trade every single time. So here, now I'm selling my 4 cost Royal Ghost in order to get 3 elixir back, which allows me to buy the Prince, and then I can sell the whole Prince for a lot more elixir. So that whole trade just worked out well for me, because now I have more elixir to work with. You know, I sold the Stab Goblin right there. Now I get that Prince. I believe I sell... Yeah, okay. I was trying to sell things in order to buy that 2-star Goblin Machine. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, but that's okay. I think I ended up winning this. Maybe not, actually. just because the healing factor of clan. Yeah, the healing factor of clan is still too strong. Nerf clan, smash like if you hate clan. So here we are going now into round 3. And at this spot, I am pretty confident. I mean, look at that. I have 11 elixir in my hand because I cleared out my bench. And I finished the last round with 5 elixir. And so I'm already able to buy a goblin machine. And my free goblin was a spear goblin, which just gave me another great merge. So now I'm sitting with a lot of resources in my hand. And I'm looking around to see what I can build. At this point, when you're in round 3 or 4 and you have a lot of elixir built up, that's the point where you want to start building your team. You do not want to build your team in round 1 or 2, like I said. You want to spend those rounds building up elixir, merging, and selling, because now here I am in round 3 with a ton of elixir to play with, several 2-star cards already in the field, and I can decide exactly what team I want to go for. Based on my scouting, I saw that I wanted to go for Rangers. So here I am now with a hodgepodge lineup. I went ahead and put the knight in there just so I could get maybe a little boost to my princess, but it definitely wasn't great because I wasn't able to get the archer. So I think I was actually, no, I definitely didn't win this. Yeah, see, now here I am with 1 health. I have 1 health remaining against a 10 health guy, a 6 health guy, and a 5 health guy. But because my start was strong, I am confident. Because I have so much elixir to work with, I'm confident because I now know what team I can go for that I'm not going to be contested on. I am confident. So here we go. Just, again, buying cheaper cards. Again, you saw what I did right there. Let's go back for a minute and start this round over again. Go ahead and sell my 2 cost. I sell the bandit I just bought to get the prince that I can then sell. Sell the goblin there, and then I buy the knight. I keep the knight up there. And then instead of buying that princess, I actually buy that goblin or I buy the barbarian because it's a merge. Nobody else is going for Rangers, and because I am so far, still pretty early on in the game, people shouldn't be blocking at this point. If they're using their elixir to block, then they are making a stupid decision because they need to be using their elixir to build their team out right now. So I'm pretty confident that I'll be able to see that princess again come through my hand, and so I'm buying the barbarian there to merge. There you go. I see I get myself another dark goblin. There's another dark goblin. There's the princess. I still pass up on it because I want to buy cards that I can merge. And then here I am. Oh, sorry. I do buy that princess. That was right. I do buy that princess. Okay, yeah. Let's go back here. Let's look at this one. There's the 3-star dark goblin. Can I watch this at half speed? I don't know how to do it, so we're just not going to. If you guys want to watch it at half speed, then feel free to. So there I buy the princess. That's right. And I put the Valkyrie in because I need the clan bonus for the archer that I don't have yet. I buy that royal ghost. Sell the royal ghost. There you go. Now I see that I can buy the princess. So I think I sell my. I sell both of those cards, which actually I think that was probably a mistake. I sell the Mega Knight and the Knight, which I didn't need to. I only needed to sell the Mega Knight to buy that princess. So, I mean, just a small mistake. But here I have 4 elixir coming into my hand. And at the very last second, you can see up here, the clock is at 1. At the very, very last second possible, I get an archer to complete my Rangers team. Which puts me in a really good spot. Because I was worried I wasn't going to be able to get an archer. I was worried this guy with the 2-star archer had one sitting on his bench just waiting for another guy to die so he could get the 3-star archer, but I was able to clutch up and find an archer, which puts me in a really good spot because now I have a 3-star princess, a 3-star dark goblin, archers just there to complete the team, so we're sitting pretty now. Now my goal here is to finish out building my front line because I know I can't get any more archers. They're all held in other people's teams right now, and so I buy my knight. I'm trying to build my knight as well as find a goblin machine because that's the last member that I want on the team. So again, I'm just buying cheap cards. When I have to buy a more expensive card, I normally still try to hold on to it just in case I can get another merge later on or get a copy later on and then merge and sell. If I have to sell a card to buy a merge, I am selling those more expensive ones just because there's more elixir tied up in them. Let's take a minute to talk about that. This is something that I think a lot of people still don't understand. When I say I hold on to more expensive cards, that's because if I were to sell it really has to do with the value that's tied up in the cards. So I sold a Royal Ghost there because the Royal Ghost sells for 3 elixir at a 4 elixir purchase price. What people don't understand is that there is value inherently tied up in each one of these cards. For a 2-star or for a 2-cost card like a Spear Goblin, I can only sell that for 50% of its value. So I can sell that and get 1 elixir back. For a Royal Ghost, I can sell that and get 3 elixir back. For a Golden Knight, I can sell that and get 4 elixir back. So I'm only getting a 50% return by selling this 2-cost card. I am getting a 66.6% return by selling a 3-cost card. I'm getting a 75% return by selling a 4-cost card. I'm getting an 80% return by selling a Golden Knight. So those are the cards that I more often than not want to sell if they're just sitting taking up space. Because in order to get 4 elixir back on this guy, I would have to I would have to sell 4 of my 1-cost cards, or sorry, 4 of my 2-cost cards to give me 4 elixir back. And to buy 4 of those 2-cost cards, I put in 8 elixir and only got 4 back. One of these guys, I put in 5, got back 4. So know when you're cycling, you need to be cycling your cheap cards, but you need to understand the value that is built up in these cards. So when you are, selling cards in order to buy a merge, sell your more expensive ones, because if you have to sell several of your cheap ones to buy a merge, then you are not going to return nearly as well on that exchange, because you are losing so much elixir by selling all those 2-cost cards. Hopefully that made sense. I think I've explained it finally the best I can. I've tried to explain it in several comment sections, and it just doesn't seem to be getting understood by a lot of people, so hopefully that clears it up. All right, here I am just scouting. I see this guy's running absolutely nothing, so I think even though he's in first place, I'm not worried about this guy, so I take this win here. This is going to be a longer video. I can see I'm already hitting 21 minutes, and we still have like 2 or 3 minutes left in the video, but hopefully this is a really big help to you guys. Smash like if it is. I know you all have been asking for this one for a while. I am by no means the best player, but I think that I have a way of explaining things that can be really helpful, so I figured it'd be helpful if I took some time to make this video for you guys. And I mean, that's what I like to do. I like to explain things. I like to think through this game. That's why I love it so much more. Well, not more. I love Standard Clash Royale, but this mode gives you time to think through all the decisions you make. When Standard Clash Royale is really reactionary, and you have to understand interactions, and you have to understand how to play every single card correctly. This game allows you to think ahead more, allows you to outwit your opponents more. I mean, there's a lot of outplaying in Clash Royale, but merge tactics is where you can really just use your brain to win. Until RNG comes and whoops you, because that's what happens most of the time, right? That's what you all say in the comments. Okay, so that round was just, there was nothing special to talk about in that round. I mean, I'm just looking to block at this point. I know this guy's playing throwers, so I'm trying to block his throwers. I was playing the dead guy, which was an easy win for me. So here I am playing up against that throwers guy at the end here. I'm just trying to block his cards while trying to get my Goblin Machine leveled up. There I was able to get the 3-star Archer, and now here I am just cycling through. I mean, again, I'm not going to stop. I'll pause it here just because I know I know it's moving so fast on the bottom. Slow it down if you really want to, but there's really nothing to that. It's just buying and selling cheap cards. I was getting lower on elixir here. You can see I only have 5 in my hand. So if I'm going to block him effectively, I need to have more elixir. So that's what I'm doing to cycle, and then I can decide that I can decide what I actually want to block. So you can see I'm blocking. I was blocking a bomber over there until I sold it. Maybe at this point I'm just really trying to I don't really know what I was doing here. I think I was pretty confident in my team just because throwers really pose no threat. Okay, here I am. Yeah, I was able to block those last 2 cards there, which was helpful. I mean, not that he was really looking for them, but those were the only 2 cards I could block. So because I kept seeing him pop up, I went ahead and grabbed them there just so he couldn't get them. But I think that just because of how strong my throwers are, I was able to, because of how strong my rangers are, I was able to melt this guy down here, and I took that win. Really great game there. I guess the last 30 seconds of this video are just me sitting on the winning screen, which is fine. So hopefully this helped you out a lot. I know it was a highly requested video. If you want me to do another one, I'd be happy to. If you want me to show more games, if you really want me to watch a video and like 0.25 times speed, I will do it and explain every single transaction. I think that would be a waste of both of our time, because really there's not much to what I do in those high speed moments. I'm just cycling to get cheap cards and build up elixir. That's really all it is. I'm not really paying attention to what I'm buying unless I'm building out my team or unless I'm looking to block. So if you guys have any questions, please ask them in the comments. You all know I do my best to answer as many comments as possible. If this helped you out, please smash like, please subscribe if you guys have not already. Tune into the streams, and I will see y'all in the next video.